Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is TJ.
Hello.
We are on Chapter 8 of Season 2 of Stranger Things, called The Mind Flayer. Loved the name of the episode. Oh my god.
Yes.
The geek in me was so happy. I was like, yes. Awesome. Also, really liked the episode.
Yes.
And not gonna lie, I got a little misty-eyed at the end.
Yes.
It was
same.
So we had some technical difficulties because the internet apparently hates both of us. So I think it gave us time to recover. So I wasn't weeping, but I was just like, oh my god, that was so sad. All right, so before we get into this episode, can we just give props to Will?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. He needs to get like an award or something for this season. He is doing a phenomenal job.
All while still carrying a bowl haircut.
Yeah, he has that. Who's that one fucking figure skater that had that haircut? Isn't it named after her from the 80s or something? It's called the something haircut. It's named after her.
Okay.
And it's horrible. So we have the pretty much we're like filtering the plot down now. As far as like where we're going. So we have like things happening at the Institute, the kids from the junkyard, and then whatever L. Jane is up to. So we can have like those three plots going on. So we're back at the Institute where we see the demi-dogs coming up. And I'm like, how fucking strong are these things?
Mm-hmm.
For Pete's sake, like they're busting through like reinforced metal doors. Holy crap.
But, I mean, it would make sense because, I mean, think back to Dustin's basement. That thing not only punched a hole through concrete, but proceeded to dig through earth.
But it has like its Resident Evil mouth, so
yeah,
I think it can do that. We learned that human drugs work on the shadow monster, so that was cool. Because basically these creatures are what we expected. They're starting to attack the Institute, and everyone kind of runs and holes up in a room, and then
the survivors,
pretty much, God,
pretty much the entire Institute is dead,
except for the main cast, of course.
Yes. Which is Hopper,
Joyce, Will, Mike, Bob, and then Dr. Reiser.
Yep.
So those are the ones that are left. Power goes out, and then they figure out that they have to reboot the system and then do BASIC, which is a nice callback.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sean Astin finally made me laugh with something when he was like, "Do you speak BASIC?" I was like, awesome. So we have surprise brainiac hero Sean Astin going to save the day.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of that, we go to the home life of Angry Mullet as his father and stepmother, Neil and Susan, come in wanting to know where Max is. And we kind of figure out why Angry Mullet's so angry. Because his fucking abusive dad and poor Susan.
Which, pointing out, it's a type of home life that we've not seen explored in the series so far.
Yes, that's very true. Everyone seems to be pretty much happy.
Mm-hmm.
When the lights turned out, initially I wanted it to be L. Jane using her mind powers, but we're not there yet. We go to Steve, Max, Dustin, and Lucas on the tracks, and they're bickering and whatnot.
Or what I like to call Steve's Adventures in Babysitting.
I saw that cover. It was really fucking clever. So I actually literally just saw that while I was waiting for you to respond on Facebook. I was scrolling in Facebook, and I'm like, that's really funny.
What, did someone make a cover?
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No?
Yeah, it's literally an Adventures in Babysitting cover with him on it. I will link it to you when it starts working again. Yes. Very good call then, since you didn't see it. Yes, you and someone else are of the same mind. So good job. Sue them for copyright, intellectual property. And speaking of intellectual property, Sean Astin manages to get the lights back on and all that good stuff. Steve, Max, Dustin, and Lucas, Steve, his adventures in babysitting, make it back to the Institute, and they meet up with Nancy and Jonathan, who are also there, which I'm glad that they made that scene more about what's going on and less about the awkwardness between Nancy and Steve.
Yes.
With Jonathan there. Like, that could have been I was expecting it to be, like, awkward. But it wasn't. They were all like, hey, we need to find Will. What's going on at the Institute? The creatures are back there. We need to fucking figure this out. I like that.
We got bigger shit to worry about.
Exactly, and I liked that. So, smart writing. So, like I said, Sean Astin unlocks the doors and then turns on the sprinkler system, thus, I think, giving a stronger case for my solution of water. Because Dr. Reiser then kind of sees that the creatures are afraid of water. And I was like, why not just set off the entire sprinkler system? That would just be the smartest thing. Just turn them all on and walk wherever the fuck you want. And then one of my wishes was granted, and I am not at all ashamed. Sean Astin becomes Demidog Chow. And then Jonathan and Nancy pull up as they're running out. Because, they also drug Will. Put him to sleep so that the shadow monster and the creatures and everything can't find them, because they figured out that he's a spy. So the shadow monster's using him to spy on them. So Jonathan and Nancy rescue them. Hopper picks up the rest of the gang, and they go off to Joyce's house. So everyone's gathered there. Since Sean Astin died, I think there's now that clear path for that Hopper-Joyce love interest thing that they've been building slowly towards. Another piece of good writing, I think, in this season. It's very subtle.
Yes.
And they clearly have feelings for each other. But they're like adult about it. They realize the situation, and I like it. I think it's really well written. It's very understated, but it's there.
Yes.
And I'm a very huge fan of it. I think Dustin is kind of turning into a douche, personally. Like, between the scene in the trying to unlock the gate, there was a couple of lines in the house. I think he's just kind of going from funny to dick. So I'm not really digging his character as much right now. And I get they might be writing him like that because of the jealousy he has between Lucas and Max. So I can forgive it a little bit, but I think they're kind of writing him to be kind of an asshole. Here at the house, they figure out that the shadow monster is the brain. And then the mind flayer, eventually, is the analogy they use. And Mike then says that they need to use Will to figure it out, like to figure out how to beat it. So their plan is to tie Will up in a place that he doesn't know where they're at, so the shadow monster can't summon the creatures to where they're at. And I really, really, really liked the next 15 minutes. It was really well done. We have this it's a montage of them. I think it was the original shack he got abducted in season 1.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Being completely boarded up. I'm not boarded up, but tarps and covering the windows, making it completely. Will not be able to see where the hell he's at. He won't know because they made it very they camouflaged it pretty much, so he won't know that they're in the shack. And the whole time I'm asking myself, I'm like, where is Angry Mullet?
Yeah.
Because the dad told him to go find her. So what gave them away wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting Angry Mullet to show up there and honking his horn and yelling. That's what I was expecting. That didn't happen, though. During this, they're talking to Will and really emotional, things from his past, like a birthday and how him and Jonathan built that little fort, and when Mike and Will first met. And I wrote, Mike and Will have to be boyfriends. They have to be. This would be the perfect opportunity to do a natural gay storyline. They'd be the cutest little boyfriends. But the shadow monster, Will, is let me go. And they're trying to figure out, how the fuck to get through to him. They realize that Will is using Morse code. Another thing I really liked.
Yep.
So they continue telling stories to distract Shadow Monster while Will is communicating in Morse code. And they realize that Will is saying, close gate. So I don't know if that means the breach in the Institute at the bottom, or because we're still not clear because the Shadow Monster is fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's really unclear to me. Like, I'm still thinking that the Demi things, something, I don't know. It's really, really unclear, like, where it's at, where does it live?
I think by closed gate, he's alluding to him.
Okay. Okay.
To kill him.
Huh. Okay. I didn't think of that. That could be. Because otherwise, I'm just like, where is the Shadow Monster hiding? Where is it? Where's its base of operations? Where, in the Upside Down, it's huge. It's a giant Cloverfield Cthulhu thing. So, I really hope they explain this.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also 2 more seasons after this that they've already signed on for, so it could be the long game. And then the phone rings. Oh no! Evil phone strikes again, and they're found out. And they drug Will again and run back into the house. And I like how almost everyone had their various weapons. So we had like what looked like almost like a BB gun, and Lucas had his slingshot, and Mike had like a trophy.
And Nancy got a gun again, and which apparently we learned from the first season that she's apparently quite the shot.
Yes, exactly. And then, as the demi-dogs start to encroach upon them, dun 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 dun, Elle Jane returns. Ah! The gang's back together in a very emotional last scene.
Yes.
It was very, very well done. Just Hopper's expression, and then they focus on Mike and Elle Jane looking at each other. I was like, as much as I want Mike and Will to be boyfriends, it was a really, like, just the connection Mike and Elle Jane have is really nice and really well acted and really well done.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I mean, as confused as I am about what actually is going on with the Shadow Monster, and for good reason, because they've kept it very, minimalist.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very solid episode.
My favorite thing was the entire Mind Flayer discussion.
I like that to a degree, but again, I think Dustin is teetering on that funny / asshole line. I
did laugh, though, when he was making the Mind Flayer analogy, but he said metaphor. And
is now the time for that?
Yeah.
I was like, well, kind of. You do that shit, too. I was like...
You do that all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
All the time.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you noticed that too. I didn't write that down. I thought that to myself. I was like, you do that all the fucking time.
And Hopper just restraining himself from beating the everlasting shit out of the entire game.
We need an army of undead to go to defeat the Mind Flayer because the Mind Flayer likes brains and the zombies don't have brains, or the undead rather don't have brains. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I like that scene, but Dustin is really starting to wear on me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how they're writing him, so it's no fault of the actor or anything. I don't think it's bad writing at all. I think it's actually good writing.
Mm-hmm.
To take such a likable character and start to make him kind of irritating. But yeah, MVP of this episode is Will again for me.
One interesting thing to point out.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the Institute, we never saw Dr. Reiser die.
No, we didn't. Yeah, I think they're saving him for the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think they go back to the Institute with Elle Jane in tow, and he's still there, and they all figure it out together. Like somehow someone's going to know what closed gate means, probably him. And since Elle Jane's back, they can now fight whatever it is with her magical powers.
Yep.
So we are down to the last episode, and I am very eager to finish this.
Indeed.
I will say, knock on wood, that I've been very happy that since we had to start late because of the October Marathon, I have avoided all spoilers. All right, sir, are you ready to finish this bad boy up?
I am.
Okay, folks, we're doing this in real time, as said. We literally just watched episode 8 and came to talk about it now. We are going on to episode 9 right after this. So that wraps up this episode. Thank you, as always, for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for the next episode, which will be episode 9, the last installment of season 2, which we're going to watch right now. In the meantime, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we will talk to you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye.